So you met Melvin Farmer at Horace Mann. You bump into him again in prison.
Yeah, crazy, right?
Did you ever see him again after prison?
Yeah, I seen him again. As a matter of fact, I seen Melvin maybe about 4 months ago. You know, but see, that's what I'm talking about. I see Melvin at school, then I bump into him again, but we in prison. When we should have been bumping into each other in college. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're right.
You know, that's what I'm talking about.
So by the time you bump into him in prison, he's representing A-Tray Gangster?
Yeah. Melvin was A-Tray. I'm like, okay, do your thing, partner.
And the A-Trays were enemies with, well, at that time, no, because that didn't happen until 79.
Right.
Prior to 79, the A-Trays in the 60s were cool.
Yeah. And then after that, they was arch enemies.
Yeah, this lady behind it threw a gang sign in that white dress. She laughing and shit. Okay, so you get out of prison in what, early 80, 81, 80, 81?
Yeah, when I went in 79, I got out in 82.
Okay, so in 82,
82.
The gang scene is way different now.
Yeah, 82. And when, you know, I'm on 82, the gang thing, I had stopped that, you know what I mean, prior to the hustling game. So I wasn't involved with that, but I never turned my back on my people. I put them down if they want to get put down.
But you're always known as a Michael Jourdain from Van Ness gang.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, a lot of them. That, you know, Michael Jourdain, Tootie Reese's son-in-law, Tootie Reese, Michael Jourdain, you know, Suge, Raymond Wright, you know.
All right, let's talk about some of these. These are OGs ahead of your time.
Without a doubt.
Let's start with Raymond Suge Wright, original businessman from the East Side.
That's him.
How the heck did you cross paths with Raymond Suge Wright?
Man, he had a nephew that went to Horace Mann named Squally, and you know, me and Squally would kick it, and then, you know, I met Suge through his nephew. So, you know, it was a close knit. You know, close-knit type of thing. And then when I got involved with Tootie, then I met everybody, all the gangsters.
Now, how did you meet Tootie Reese?
It was a apartment building in I would say, Leimert Park. And my mother, we lived in one of the duplexes, and he had bought the one next door. And all you saw was Rolls Royces and Bentleys, Cadillacs, you know, Ferraris, cars pulling boats and motorcycles, and all these fly things would be on Creed Avenue. So, you know, I met him, and it's all in the book, you know, about how I met him. You know, very interesting. There's a lot of good history.
So he was staying right there on Creed?
Yeah, that was one of his spots. One of his spots.
Which I would say is the nicest street in Leimert Park.
Man, Creed Avenue is beautiful, man. Yeah. We stayed at 4288 Creed Avenue. Yeah.
Okay, so is this when you get introduced to hustling, or you're already hustling in your own right before you meet them?
No, I was hustling before I met Tootie, you know, but I was hustling, like, you know, at the time we was doing $5 bags of weed. They had this stuff called angel dust. We called them scenes. So we would sell $5, $10 scenes of angel dust and, you know, weed and stuff like that. So I stayed hustling. I was a hustler, you know?
Okay. So when you got to Tootie Reese, did your hustling change?
Oh, the game changed all the way. You know, what happened was my game of hustling didn't change. I just had a different product that yield, you know, thousands of dollars.
Now in 82, the crack was hitting the scene. Did you dabble in that?
No, see, the thing about the crack scene, that's when Freeway was doing that, but when me and Tootie was doing it, it was a rich man's high and it was powder, you know, so we deal with a lot of celebrities and a whole different caliber of people. And then, you know, when the CIA tricked Rick, they got him into that, and that's when they came down with crack, you know.
So what years would you say was the height of your hustling?
Shit, I would say from 75 till I retired in 2002. 2002, getting money.
Yeah.
Getting paid.
Now you ended up doing a long prison bid, right? From 1990 to 2000?
Yeah.
That was related to your hustling, right?
Oh yeah.
Well, before we get to that, in the 80s, I guess you were just primarily hustling in the 80s. Huh?
Yeah, hustling. That was hustling in the 80s. It was all about drugs, you know.
And was it always powder, or did you mess with the water or other things?
No, I didn't mess with the water. I knew other people, but I didn't mess with the water. It was cocaine, you know, and it was powder, and you know, because that was getting the money. I mean, it was a lavish life, you know. It was $1 million, if not a multi-billion-dollar industry, and we tapped into that, so we was getting us millions.
Now, a lot of people thought it was hard to hustle cocaine because it was so expensive back then.
Yeah.
How did you manage to deal with the hurdles of the cost?
Yeah, well, the hurdles of the cost, I didn't really deal with our people like that. I deal with white people, foreigners that had money, you know, that could spend money on that. They didn't have no problem with it. You know, they take an ounce, spend $2,500 for an ounce. You know what I'm saying? No problem, $3,000 for an ounce, boom. You know, straight cash, all $100 bills. So those are the kind of customers and entertainers. You know, entertainers, movie stars, that's the kind of people we dealt with. You know, and the only people that we dealt with basically that was black, they was getting money too.
Yeah, a lot of celebrities, when we were talking about Darryl Strawberry earlier, he was buying powder.
Yeah.
Todd Bridges, the actor.
Richard Pryor. Richard Pryor, yeah.
Richard Pryor.
He was a great customer, but hate to see that Richard let it destroy his life.
Yeah. So how much was a whole kilo of powder going for back in the 80s?
At the time, you know, 68,000.
Ooh, see, that's expensive.
Yeah, 68,000, and you could put something on it too.
Yeah.
That's a good thing. You know, we were getting pure cocaine at hitting about 98%. You know, so, you know, that 2% is how they had to put it together. But we basically had good, pure cocaine, you know, and it was an aphrodisiac. So, you know, that's why a lot of people use it, you know, with broads, having fun, you know.
Is there a way to responsibly indulge in cocaine without it taking over your life like it does for some people? Because some people are recreational users.
Yeah.
Some people, it just drives them into the ground.
Yeah, but you know, I would have to say this, that for some people, it's like, it depends on that person. If they're recreational or whatever, it depends on that person. You know, if they could actually do it or not, you know. Some people are weaker, some are stronger. So it depends on that person, you know. It depends on that person. Some people use it, and I used to see people use it, and the next day they was in a courtroom, you know, trying cases and winning.
Okay. Let's talk about your last case in 1990, I believe that was.
Yeah.
How did that all develop, and what you end up going to prison for?
Yeah, I had a jewelry store in Vegas, one downtown Los Angeles. And so all the players, all the hustlers, all the main dudes, you know, I would custom make the jewelry and do jewelry deals. Some people want to sell jewelry. I used to buy jewelry. And then I got caught up into, they were saying laundering multi-million dollars of jewelry. They said, they alleged that I was putting rolling 60s and Bloods together and going all over the country, robbing jewelry stores for millions of dollars. At the end of the day, when they tried to give me the RICO, you know, that fell through for the feds. So what happened is that I end up taking an Alford plea. So therefore, you know, I didn't admit, I'm not saying I did it, but my lawyers are saying, Mike, it don't look good what they have. It looks like you're gonna be convicted, so just work this deal out, you know, and get you less time as possible.
It's partial guilt, right?
Yeah, partial guilt. It's partial guilt, it's partial guilt.
Not
yeah.
100%.
Not 100%. Yeah. Not 100%.
Alford pleas.
Yeah,
But then they keep you on a probation for a long time, right?
Man, I'd end up on parole for like 5 years, you know, after I got out. But I did time for multiple states, and I got 30 years, 6 months with a 10-year cap. So I wouldn't do no time over 10 years for any, and then 18 jurisdictions, they agreed to the plea agreement to not prosecute. So, you know, that was like, you know, 20 other prosecutions that was looking to prosecute me out of different jurisdictions.
Okay, so is this the case where you did 10 years on?
Yeah, that's why I did 10
so
years.
You signed the Alfred plea and had to do 10 years?
Yeah.
Okay, because what was the max you were looking at?
Life.
Wow.
I was looking at the RICO Act.
Yeah.
It cost me $500,000 to get 30 years.
Okay.
Yeah, you know.
Is this a California case too?
Yeah, one of them was yeah, it was California. You know, it was Atlanta, Nevada,
okay.
Oregon.
But was this a state case or a Fed case?
All of the feds was in. The feds got my boy, and they were trying to give me the RICO. So the feds case fell apart, and so the state had something,
okay.
And so I ended up doing state time.
All right. Did you end up back at Jamestown?
No, I was in Oregon at a maximum security prison for 10 years.
Oregon?
Yeah, that's where at Eugene,
prison?
Oregon. No, OSP. It's Oregon State Penitentiary, maximum security prison.
Why'd they say
it's the only one they had because I had a case in Eugene, Oregon, and that was the strongest case. So they had first dibs at me because they prosecuted me first. And they wanted the publicity because it was in the newspaper, on the news. So they wanted to say that they put Michael Jourdain away.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you did your 10 years up there in Oregon?
Up in Oregon, yeah.
What was that like?
It's like maximum security is like, to me, minimum security in California.
Okay.
Yeah, easy.
But you got out in 2000, but you said you didn't retire until 2002.
Well, no, I got out in 2002.
Oh, okay, that's right.
No, I got out in 2002.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I retired. Well, I retired, you know.
Retired.
Yeah, I retired. So I've been out 20 years now, you know. 20 years, and just right now I go into some juvenile camps and try to help these youngsters, man. Try to change their lives, you know what I mean?
Great, man. That's great.
Yeah, I do that.
I want to recommend everybody to read your book, Hood Legends. For anyone interested in some Los Angeles history, we're standing right here in the center of your story to a certain degree, because you went to school just south of here, but you live north of here.
That's right.
And this is, you know, I would say a very historic area for your story.
Without a doubt,
The old Hostess
St. Andrews and 60th.
Yeah. Give me some final thoughts, man, before we wrap this up while we're standing right here in front of the Hostess Cake Factory.
All right. So what I want to say is to everybody is this. The book that I wrote, the 2 books that I wrote, when you purchase the book and learn about the history of Los Angeles, about some real boss people, you know, kingpins and legends, and you purchase that book, what you'll be doing is you'll be helping children, because a percentage of that book is going to go towards helping a child that may need a tutor. So the kids in the hood or a child that needs a tutor to further their education, that's what you're going to be doing. So peace and blessings.
Last question. What do you remember most about Raymond Suge Wright, original businessman?
What I remember about Suge was an uncle to me. Suge was a straight gangster. A straight gangster, you know what I mean? Straight up man. You know, I learned a lot from him, a lot of love and respect for the brother. And all I can say is he was a true gangster like Al Capone.
And what do you remember most about Tootie Reese?
Oh man, that's my family. Man, what I remember about Tootie is this. I never seen a black man on this planet that I knew that had the money that he had, multi-millions. We were living in Clark Gable estates where the Jacksons couldn't get in. You understand? We lived in places that some white people couldn't get in. So, you know, Tootie Reese, straight king. He was all that he was. When they said he was the Godfather, he was the Godfather.
Okay, and out of the Van Ness boys from your generation, other than yourself, who was the most downest, you know, toughest bro that you came up with?
My brother Ro, that got killed, and you'll read about that in the book. Yeah.
Okay, and then on the 60 side, who would you say was a guy that was well respected from your generation when you was coming up?
Wow. I would say Perry Manuel. They called him Cappuccino. Perry was well respected through the 60 hood. Killer Gene, you know, he's in my book. Good brother, we was like brothers. Those brothers there, you know, in that era, yeah. It's a few more though, you know. I just can't remember right now, but it's a whole lot of them, you know. Yeah.
All right, man. I want to thank you, Michael Jourdain, for giving me a couple hours of your time. I appreciate you, man.
Appreciate you. Peace and blessings, brother.